Oh no! Oh no! Y'all gonna like this.
Are you guys ready to do a podcast?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We're clean on this show.
Tone would love to have me, but
Are we locked in?
Whoa!
You know what? And I'm gonna
You
double
saw-
down. You would love to have me too, Ball.
How deep are you? You know what I'm saying? Like how deep can you go?
yo.
All right, bro.
Hey, yo, James, don't call him directly because he might cut you out. Call me first and I'll transfer you.
What does that mean? Whoa! Yeah, he started jumping on it. Can you feel it? Can you smell it? Do you smell what the book is cooking? Yeah, what I like to say is movement fails opportunity when opportunity fails to move. Welcome to your favorite show, your favorite podcast, my favorite podcast, Gumball Sports Machine. This is a show where we love, we laugh, we hug, we cry, we smile, and most importantly, we are positive, just like that brand new introduction video. Now, I know it's a little long. I'm gonna work on it, cut it down a little bit, but let me know what you guys think of it. That will be out on socials here tonight or sometime soon. We'll see. But as always, I'm not here by myself. I got my uncle, my co-host, my OG, my dog. Triple OG. Oh no, Tone. You are muted, brother. No. Oh, on the reveal of the new intro, this is how we start. No. No. No, we're still muted. You're still muted. Oh,
I just did all of this. Can you hear?
There we go. Attaboy.
All right. So you heard me, and then we go through the intro, and then you can't hear me?
That was awkward.
All right. You got it. But yeah,
That's
as I was saying, I'm definitely doing a bit of crying right now.
Oh, you know what? I'm here for you, brother. I'm here for you.
Yeah, as the intro was playing, I was over here watching ESPN show. No update. My got tomorrow. So that's when we'll find out that the season's over.
I am as much as I would like to say that I feel bad for the Celtics, I don't. I do feel bad for you, but I don't feel bad for the Celtics. F the Celtics. That's how I feel. And and we also have David Largo, D'Lo, aka co-host D'Lo. D'Lo, how are you feeling, brother?
I was so moved when I saw you in those crash out clips. Let me tell you, I was so moved. I love to see you angry and upset. You know, it's just it brightens my day, really.
Oh, never mind. We don't have co-host D'Lo anymore. No, of course we have David. And lastly, but certainly not least, the what I like to call the brains of the group. We have Kev. Okay, it's not just not working. That's cool. There we go. Kevin, how are you feeling?
I'm gonna get some tissues and everything for me and Tones because we going through a lot right now.
You know what? As
Don't worry, guys.
as
I got our sponsor with me today. Is what y'all need right now.
That's a great point. This segment is
an ace bandage. I don't need a Kleenex. I need like a cast.
It's a great point. You know what? Okay, first of all, fellas, we're just not gonna skip past that. Like we didn't just see what we just saw. David Largo, what do you think about the intro? The brand new intro with all of us on it.
Man, it's about
What did you just do?
it's about time, because
Oh,
we had our intro, and I showed up. I stopped showing up for a little bit because I got busy with school, and then I got my intro replaced. That hurt my heart a little bit.
yeah, did it?
But now we're back, and now all of us are on there.
Yeah.
Only for me to show up and disappear once again.
Oh, all right. No, I'm gonna get this. This is gonna get. He's going from 0 to 100 very, very quickly. Kevin, what did you think of the brand new introduction video for
I'm
GSM?
not even gonna lie. I was about to be like, yo, that's the wrong intro in the beginning right there.
Oh, I did that on purpose. Did that on purpose. I've been planning that out all day. All day.
And then secondly, I just want to say, why is every one of our clips besides yours the one that's like pause moments?
Well, do you want me to be honest or?
Go ahead.
Okay, well, because I,
Because
edited the video,
the gumball edited it.
I made the video and I edited it and I thought those were funny. And okay, honestly, I didn't realize it until after. And I was talking to Tony about this. I didn't realize it until after. Like I didn't have any AO clips. I was honestly just looking through like the past episodes, looking for good clips. And D'Lo obviously had that one recently, which is really good. Kev was tough to find for. He was like, because Kevin, he doesn't like. Also,
No
what I said was an AO
Yeah.
on your clip. What I said was an AO.
It was on Gumball that said that. You was just laughing.
Yeah, you're just reacting to it. And then Tone, as soon as I see him do this on camera, I was like, okay, it's going in the intro.
I need to know the context of it. What was that for?
Defense. We were talking about
playing defense.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And
I
then
thought you got
D'Lo
the prayer rug clip.
But that's the wave though. That's the wave.
Yeah, that would have been wild though.
Yeah, we can't
I
use
don't know if
Nick
we
to
can have
do
that
it.
on. I don't know if we can have that in the intro.
Yeah.
That was wild.
We can't cross shows.
I've been laughing the whole day watching that one clip too.
Yeah, on the airplane, y'all were talking about airplanes too, and then it transitioned so effortlessly into it. I'm like, oh, I wish I would have been there, dude.
Oh man, it's okay. Being a responsible young man. Tony, what did you think of the new introduction video?
Fire flames.
Oh,
I'm glad I'm glad we had those pre-training so I could make those shots. It was like
all of those were
5
first try.
Sundays in a row that I was training y'all.
I do want to point out all of those were first try.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All of
First try. we was out of there. Like we went to the gym for like 7 minutes.
Literally 7. I counted it 7 minutes 27 seconds and we were gone.
All right, so we didn't get any runs in before that.
All right, fellas, we got to start the show. That's on me. That's on me. New introduction video. But we got to start the show. As we do in every episode, we start our shows off with the segment called Something to Chew On. Something to Chew On is a segment in which we go over some of the top stories going around in this great world. Let's start with, oh man,
The draft.
Let's start with the draft. We'll talk a little bit more about it later in the show. The Dallas Mavericks end up with the first pick, and the San Antonio Spurs end up with the second. of course, two teams in the West. I am now a Knicks fan full time, just AKA. Um, Tone, what was your reaction to Dallas, especially after trading their superstar away this season? What was your reaction to the Mavs getting the first overall pick?
If I recall correctly, I was one of the few people that said that Dallas won that trade, and now it confirms and double stamps down that they won the trade. I think it's awfully funny that LeBron made. This is just running Twitter right now. LeBron made a statement about how the Knicks were able to get Ewing, Chicago was able to get Rose, Cleveland was able to get him, and then Wemby to Dallas, like just mysterious number one picks, and then how Luka was traded, and now they're getting Cooper Flag. I will say having the living legend NBA player right now say that is kind of crazy. But yeah, I will say it's kind of wild that this all turned out. I'm sure Nico was out there like bottles on y'all. I'm trying to, like everyone owes him right now. This turned out fabulous for the Dallas Mavericks. It will be a top 3 seed in the West if healthy next year.
I think Nico pulled out his prayer rug for this one. David Largo, what was your reaction to the Mavs? Getting the first overall pick?
Yeah, man, I have two ways that you can go with it. Either the NBA is rigged and Adam Silver did his job, or Nico's a genius, and I'll let y'all chew on that. Obviously, something to chew on, but
boy.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. I also saw Philly moved into the top 3, and they desperately needed that. So good news all around for these bad franchises.
Kev, what'd you think?
Yeah, well, D'Lo and Tones talked much about Dallas and their pick. I'm gonna go into the Spurs and their second overall pick. They were just one more pick off from getting the first overall pick. So I was like, for me, I was like, bro, they're about to get Cooper and then have Wemby as well. That's a nasty deal if that was to go through right there.
The NBA is rigged. Okay. Let me specify that. This was rigged. There's no way. The Dallas Mavericks had a 1.8% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick. Let me say that again for the people in the back who didn't hear me. The Dallas Mavericks had a 1.8% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick. They go out and they trade Luka Doncic, a top 5 player in this league who is 25 years old. And not only do they trade him to the Los Angeles Lakers, one of the 2 biggest markets in the association. Somehow, with a 1.8% chance, go out and get the number 1 overall pick, who just happens to be a generational player coming into this league. Uh-oh. Tone's muted it. Tone's muted again.
Never heard that song before?
Oh, there we go. Oh, no. What's this? What song? Oh, money. Shane McMahon. That's the one I heard. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Boston Red Sox designated hitter Rafael Devers was asked to play first base after their first baseman Tristan Casas tore his ACL earlier this season, devastating knee injury. Or leg injury, maybe I should say. Rafi Devers was asked to be a designated hitter after the Red Sox went out and signed free agent third baseman Alex Bregman to play third base. And when Devers was asked to play first base, he refused. Now, I know you three are like, what are you talking about? You are talking a different language that I don't understand. Rafael Devers is a fantastic baseball player, and he plays for the Boston Red Sox. He can hit the juice out of the ball. And as a baseball player, now I didn't play, college. I didn't play majors, but I've played baseball my entire life. If somebody asked me to do something, I played first base. I played first base my entire life. If somebody asked me to, hey, can you go play the outfield? Hey, can you go play short? Can you go play third? It was not even a hesitation. Yes. Yeah, that's what's going to help the team win. Again, he was already hesitant when they signed Alex Bregman. Because they asked Rafi, okay, we want you to DH. We want you to DH. We don't need you in the field. We got Bregman. We want you to DH. He was he already said no. I don't. I want to play third. I want to play third. Mind you, Tony, I'm going to make this question really obvious. Can you tell me who has the most errors in baseball in the last 7 years?
No. I'm guessing the
Rafael
guy that you just
Devers.
said.
Rafael Devers.
That's what I'm guessing.
Rafi Devers has the most errors in baseball over the last 7 years. Yet he was hesitant to move from the field to designated hitter, where he doesn't have to play in the field. And now that they're asking him to go back onto the field and play, he doesn't want to. This is pathetic. Not just as a baseball player, but as a professional athlete. If the team needs you to do something in order to win, you do it. I don't care how much you're getting paid. This is pathetic. This is why the Red Sox won't win anything this year. Because you have one of your two best players acting like this.
Hold on. Don't we have a better record than y'all?
No,
Y'all are up one game.
I think. I don't know. Let me just see really quickly. The Red
Always
Sox.
remember, start.
All I know is the Red Sox are 22-21, and we are 21-20. So, pretty much
Okay.
the same.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Be
Anyways.
careful.
Oh, I was about to make a bad joke. We'll talk about him in a second, though. All right, I do want to get that out the way. I know you guys, you losers don't like baseball. So, lastly, somebody is suing the NFL for $100 million, and they are suing due to emotional distress caused by Shedeur Sanders' draft slide in the NFL draft. This, again, we don't have to spend very long on this. Kevin, what do you make of this? Why there's somebody suing the NFL for emotional distress due to the fact that Shedeur Sanders slid all the way to the 5th round in the draft?
Maybe it's just a publicity stunt. Maybe it's just to get some media attention, or someone's trying to get a bag here. I don't know. That honestly surprised me. I didn't think they would go into investigating that much into the whole investigation for Shedeur falling that far down the 5th round.
Tone, what do you think, man? What is this? Is it just me, or is this insane?
Sounds like somebody needs a wedgie.
That's a great point. I'm glad you said that. That's a fantastic point. D'Lo, what do you make of this?
My only question is this Deion Sanders making this lawsuit?
Do you know what that?
That's my only thought. Is this Deion Sanders?
Oh my God, that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Yeah,
Somebody's looking for a bag and they're not going to get it unless now it is 2025. People are a lot more sensitive now these days, and sensitivity.
Somebody sued McDonald's for their coffee being too hot.
But that literally affected them. And I'm not defending that. That's still stupid.
They are going to use this as evidence. They're going to use this as evidence because people laughing, joking, and going through some emotional distress right now. Look at
what?
That's not just emotional though. Like if you drinking scalding hot coffee, you burn your mouth.
Is that not on the consumer of the coffee?
I mean it is, right? But it's also like it's grounds.
Yeah, that's stupid.
They could have changed the channel. They could have not paid attention to the situation. Like, what? How do you?
I feel like there's so many other things to worry about than Shedeur Sanders where he goes in the draft. I was laughing when I was.
They better not have no damn kids. I tell you that.
Oh yeah.
I really hope it's Deion.
I hate you. Okay. On that note, oh man, Tony, how are you feeling?
Yeah, shit. In the beginning, right after the intro, man, my man looks like he's towards Achilles. If you could have a positive take out of the situation, that's his right leg, I guess, which is not as strong as jumping leg. But it's a tough situation, man. He was at 42 points at his best night of the series. Game wasn't over. Fourth quarter, couple minutes left. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, I would definitely put my chips on the other guys at the moment. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a sorry Eastern Conference Championship series. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be weird because for us Celtics fans to go out like this, we didn't get to really see us compete, you know, in this last game, honestly. No JT, and it's like we're gonna lose somebody this summer, so it's gonna be interesting.
The New York Knicks protect home court in Game 4 of the second round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. They beat the Celtics 121-113. To Tony's point, Jason Tatum did leave early or about halfway through the fourth quarter. The score was 113-104. Jason Tatum was magnificent tonight. This is one of the best playoff. This is one of the best playoff performances I believe I've seen with my own eyes. The way that he was putting the ball in the basket, he was doing everything. He was fantastic today. He had 42 points, 16 of 28, 7 of 16 from 3. He did leave the game with an apparent leg injury. Now, again, it looks like it could be an Achilles. It was non-contact. Obviously, we're praying that it's not. Maybe, hopefully, just a calf strain or something like that. Obviously, he will be out most likely the rest of the series. The Knicks do go up 3-1, but hey, my boys were fantastic tonight. Mikal Bridges, 11-21, 23 points. Jalen Brunson, 14-25, 4 of 8 from 3, 39 points. He also had 12 assists and 5 boards. Cat also followed that up with 23 points. OG Anunoby was really good today, defensively and offensively. Had 20 points, 8 of 14 from the field, and 4 of 8 from 3. He was fantastic. I mean, the Knicks played some dang good basketball today, which led them to taking a 3-1 lead over the Boston Celtics going into Game 5 in Beantown. D'Lo, what were your takeaways from this game? What'd you see?
I mean, from the game, I think this is what we thought of the Knicks. If they play well, they can be a top team in the East. We thought that coming into the season, and we just didn't see it all season. Like Toad mentioned before the playoffs started, they were 0-12 against the top teams in either conference. They just were not good against any good competition, and I think they figured it out. And part of that could just be, playoff Brunson. He's finally, flipped the switch. Or it could just be that, the defensive intensity has benefited the Knicks. I mean, they strive on defense, especially from those wing guys, McHale, OG, Josh Hart. Like, they like to get grimy on defense, and I think that the playoff atmosphere is helping that. But in terms of the series, like it's over. Even if JT were to come back, I think that it's over. 3-1 is not an easy task, and it's the same thing the other way. I said in both of these Eastern Conference, series that the top seeds were going to have to win 3 straight if they wanted to win the series, and they didn't. And they dropped this one today, and especially now that JT is out, I think it's a done deal.
Kev, what'd you see tonight from Boston and New York, man? Obviously, New York came out firing. Let me rephrase that. Came out firing in the second half. They were down 11 going into halftime. What'd you see tonight from them?
They played phenomenal. They played good overall team basketball, both ends of the court. They did what they needed to do. Even before JT went down with an injury, they were still keeping a little distance from themselves a little bit. And then after JT went down with an injury, they just never looked back. Injuries suck in the playoffs. You never want to see injuries, but it happens. It's nobody's fault, especially when it's non-contact, but those are the scariest injuries. So it sucks for JT. It sucks for Tones and the Celtics nation. I just wish it was under different circumstances. Would have liked to have a healthy playoffs, but you never get that any year whatsoever.
Yeah. Hey man, let me tell you something right now. The way that listen, JB, Jalen Brunson, amazing tonight. Amazing tonight. They don't win this game without Mikal Bridges. The New York Knicks don't win this game without Mikal Bridges. When Jalen Brunson went to the bench, first of all, Jalen Brunson, 16 points in the third quarter. 16 points in the third quarter. He was ridiculous. He was ridiculous. When he went to the bench to start the fourth quarter, they were going back and forth. The Knicks and the Celtics were going back and forth scoring. JT was scoring on one end. Can you guess who was scoring on the other when Jalen Brunson went to the bench? Mikal Bridges. Without Mikal Bridges and the way he was putting the ball in the basket early in that fourth quarter, they lose this basketball game, Jason Tatum or not. Because then the Celtics go up, they get a big enough lead in order to run away with the game. Mikal Bridges kept them in this game, and he was fantastic tonight. Not only on the offensive side of the ball, on the defensive side of the ball. The steal that he had on Jaylen Brown to get to now, again, that play, again, you look at Jason Tatum's injury, but that play is really what kind of like almost to me sealed the deal. Not just because of the Jason Tatum injury, but that steal from Mikal Bridges and the dunk on the other end by OG Anunoby put them up 9. I think Jason Tatum or not, they win that game, the Knicks do. I love the way they played, the fight that they had, and Jalen Brunson did his thing. He had 12 points going into halftime. He ended the game with 39. He was fantastic. The Knicks, they look good. They're fighting. My only worry is that they are going to get worn out by the end of the series. Again, when you're going to go play a team like the Pacers or the Cavs. So now I'm assuming, right? The series not over. But again, I'm assuming. So I could be very wrong. To the Jason Tatum standpoint, listen, I make a lot of jokes, and I'm because my dog is a Celtics fan, but I could not feel worse for Jason Tatum. I could not feel worse for Jason Tatum. And I'm praying. I'm praying that it is not a torn Achilles. Although all the signs are kind of looking towards, I'm praying that it's not. I hope, like I said, I hope it's maybe just a calf strain, or I don't know, maybe he just did something wrong in his foot when he took a step. But I do want to make one thing clear. I feel bad for Jason Tatum. I feel awful for Jason Tatum, and I feel awful for Tone. That's his favorite player. I can't even imagine what I would do if Devin Booker got an injury like that. I do not feel 1 ounce of pain for Celtics fans. Celtics fans are the worst people in the world. I do want to point that out.
Celtics fans are the worst in the world.
Celtics fans and Eagles fans. Celtics and Eagles.
Knicks fans and Eagles fans.
You got Dallas. You got Philly. What are we talking about? Boston is the worst in the world. That's respectful. We win. You got people who don't even win that talk about winning all the time and talk about their team is nice and this, that. We win. I've been to parades for every sport since I've been alive. Many people can't say that and they bragging about their teams. That's like disrespectful to say that we're worse. All we're doing is supporting a winning team. But let me. I just want one more quick thing. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Jalen Brunson goes up with a layup. I think it was on Al Horford.
Yep.
Misses the layup. We got a 5-on-4. And instead of driving or finding someone going to the basket, we find a way to shoot a 3-pointer. And instead of closing the lead from 3-1, Jalen Brunson, I think, comes down and makes a floater, and the lead goes to 5. And that was what, to me, that defined the series. There's been so many times that we could have turned the tables, but we just decided not to put the pressure on the Knicks and allowed to. And we gave away, to me, we've given away every game so far, just giving them away.
Yeah. When you talk about living and dying by the 3, I mean, we talked about Jason Tatum and the way that he was playing today. I saw a few possessions, like one specifically in the fourth quarter when that time where him and Mikal Bridges were going back and forth. He got the switch and he had Karl Anthony Towns on him. He then took a deep sidestep three. The next possession down, there was 7 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 7 seconds. Jason Tatum and how very, very, very skilled he is at the game of basketball. 7 seconds is a lot of time, especially when you have Karl Anthony Towns on you. Again, Karl Anthony Towns very good offensively. Defensively, he's not the best. So when you have something like that on you, and you take a deep three, I don't know if it was just settling. I don't know if it's Joe Mazzulla saying, "Hey."
He was rubbing his left foot in the middle of the third quarter. I just seen that on Twitter right before we started. He was already rubbing it, like, because people just soon as he got hurt. I guess this particular clip just went viral, but he was rubbing his left in the third quarter. I'm like, so that's probably because I noticed that it was like 4 straight possessions we shot threes. I was like, JT, come on, bro. I know you hit, but this is crazy, bro.
Jason Tatum is the definition of a 3-level scorer. Can you use the other 2 levels every once in a while? So, yeah. Any last takeaways from Boston Knicks? Boston and Knicks. Yeah, it sucks to see JT go down, but hopefully he's okay. We were talking about the
60, man.
We were talking about oh, okay, so that's cool. My mouse isn't working. We were talking about Dallas and getting the number 1 overall pick, Gucci. I think I agree. Gucci said, they sold their soul for that pick. So couldn't agree more. And then he also said, again, something I very much agree with. Said Tatum shot too many threes at the end of the game or before he went out. So, like, to your point, like, that's I don't know. That's Celtic basketball. You know, they're gonna shoot a lot of threes and then play some defense. But when you go against a guy like Jalen Brunson and tonight Mikal Bridges, it's gonna be tough. All right, there is a second game on tonight. That game currently is in the third quarter, and there is 4:45 remaining in that game. The Minnesota Timberwolves have taken a double-digit lead. They are up 80-68 against the Warriors, who are at home in Game 4. Minnesota also does happen to be up 2-1 in the series. Anthony Edwards is doing Anthony Edwards-like things. He has 28. He's 10 of 19 from the field, 6 of 11 from 3. Julius Randle is being that Robin. He's playing very well. 22 points, 8 of 16 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3. They're playing some good basketball. On the other side, there's really nobody standing out aside from Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga is playing some good basketball. Other than that, I mean, Jimmy Butler is 4 of 8. He has 9 points. Buddy Hield, 3 of 8, 11 points. Draymond Green, there's no reason why Draymond Green should be the second leading scorer on this basketball team. Pods, the guy that we were looking for to step up, he has done little to nothing in this game. He has 8 points. He's 2 of 8 from the field. He's made some free throws. D'Lo, what have your takeaways been from this game so far?
Julius Randle. That's it. You mentioned he had 22. I think 19 of those were in the first half. He was having his way against the defense, and it's kind of crazy because looking at it, I think a lot of us had Draymond in that deep boy conversation. And to see what Julius Randle has done in these playoffs, being the Robin, and sometimes even the Batman when is struggling, he's been phenomenal. So I think that was the key to success for them is, can Julius Randle fill that cat role like last year? And so far, I think he's done a very great job at it.
Kev, what have your takeaways been from this game so far?
Yeah, to quote what Lo said, Brandon was on fire from the field in the first quarter, and then a little bit in the second quarter, halfway through it. He couldn't miss. Like Lo said, 19 points. He was taking step back shots, fadeaway shots, and it was all going in. And I'm like, that was crazy, man. It looked like 2018 Brown with those fadeaway shots and all that nonsense. And then you brought up Ant as well. He's having almost 30 points right now. There wasn't really much to see from Ant the first half. It's mainly just in the second half where he's popping off right now. So I like what I'm seeing from them. You know, first half you give it to Randall, second half let him do his thing. So if that's the key to success, then they're succeeding pretty well right now with those two playing well.
Tone, what are you seeing from Minnesota right now?
Just playing like the team we kind of always expected them to play like. They seem like they finally get everything flowing. Julius Randle, like D'Lo said, tends to pick up the slack when Ant's struggling, and then Ant does the same for him when he can't get it rolling. They're playing great defense. I will say it's only against a Steph-less Warriors, so it'll be interesting to see if they do make it to the next series, what they can do. As far as that matchup with Julius Randle and Draymond Green, I kind of seen this coming. Draymond Green is usually the bully. He's getting bullied. And that's really what it boils down to is he's playing a younger, younger version of him. Like, probably a bit much score, but it's just a younger version of him who's a little bit more physical. He can't bully him. Julius Randle's not going to let him say certain things that's going to rub him the wrong. He's just laugh at him and shoot the ball. But I appreciate what the Warriors are doing. They're putting up a little bit of a fight, which is see. You don't want to see blowouts every game.
Yeah. My biggest takeaway, honestly, from this game, takeaway from this game is the way that Jimmy Butler is playing. Jimmy Butler was fantastic in game 3. When the Warriors needed a bucket, do you know who went out and got it? He just happens to have Butler the third on his back. He was fantastic in game 3. He was aggressive. He was good on defense. He was taking his shots when he needed to. Like, he was just aggressive. It is about to be the fourth quarter. Jimmy Butler, the best player playing for the Warriors right now, has taken 9 shots. 9 shots. In comparison to Anthony Edwards, who has taken 20 shots. When you're the best player on your team, again, when you're the best player on your team playing, and especially when the best player is out, Jimmy Butler, we've seen him. Here's the thing that's confusing me so much. We've seen him do it before. We've seen him do it before in Miami, in Minnesota, in Philly, in Chicago. We've seen him do it before. Why he's not doing it right now, I could not tell you. I couldn't tell you. He's shooting efficient. He's efficient from the field. He's 5-9. He's only shot 1 3. But he is a minus 21. That is the worst on anybody who has stepped on the floor for the Warriors tonight. He is a minus 21. Jimmy Butler is going to have to pick it up. It is a 16-point game right now, 89-73. Now, you still have 2 minutes in the third, and you still have an entire fourth quarter. Excuse me. Thank you. You still have an entire fourth quarter. Now, if he wants to pick it up in the fourth, go ahead. Go ahead, because they're going to need it. They're going to need it. They said it on the broadcast earlier today, right before the game. Dave Passion, I think Tim Legler, that is. The Warriors need somebody to step up offensively. Now, they need somebody to be their guy where you need a bucket and you go get him, but they're going to need somebody to come along with them. That's the biggest thing right now. They have nobody doing that. Nobody. Podge was supposed to be that guy. He's been awful. Buddy Hield was supposed to be that guy. He's not been good. Now, if we're at the point for the Warriors saying that Draymond Green needs to help step up offensively in order for you to win the basketball game, when you have guys like Jonathan Kuminga, who is actually playing some good basketball, who looks like the guy right now, and Buddy Hield, who is one of the best shooters in the association, Brandon Podjemski, who has been pretty decent over the time of his career. And those guys aren't stepping up. So now you're looking to Draymond Green to help you offensively. This series is done. Like I said, after the Warriors won game 1 and Steph got hurt, they were not going to win another basketball game because they don't have enough offensive firepower. They just don't. And you're seeing it right now. It is a 20-point game, 95-75. Now, when I said there's a lot of time left, apparently the Minnesota Timberwolves heard that and said, okay, there's a lot of time left. We're going to use that time to expand the lead. We're really going to put our foot on the gas and make sure that these guys don't come back. Gucci, shout out Gucci, bro. He's been in the chat. He's watching. He said this is what I was thinking of earlier. I was thinking about this earlier. Knicks and Minnesota in the finals would be absolutely insane. I think that would be must-see TV. For them to have the blockbuster trade they have this offseason, and then for both of them, it's literally working out for both of them, both teams. And for them to meet in the NBA Finals, I do also want to point out before the season, in my preseason predictions, yes, I don't care who I said in the West was going to make it to the finals. What I did say in the East was that the Knicks were going to make it to the finals. So did want to point that out. And Gucci also said, hey, he got dog Warriors. Ain't got no dog no more. They lost Jimmy. I don't know what happened when Jimmy came here. He's had moments. Again, he was really good in game 2. He was fantastic in the play-in game against Memphis. But when they need him most, he's John Cena. Can't see him. He's done nothing. I don't know. It sucks to watch, and then they just turn the ball over again. The Warriors do. This game is over. The series is over. There's not much stuff to talk about here in the series.
I think we knew that though as soon as Steph went down, like this was over. I feel like we knew that coming in.
Yeah, and it's showing. It's rearing its ugly head right now. Any final thoughts on this series?
Go Wolves.
Okay. Ant likes to turn it up in the second half. He did the same thing last game, where he had just a monster second half after just falling flat in the first. I just think he's a second half performer. He's kind of like Jalen Brunson in a way where he likes to turn it up at the end of games. Good for them. I think all of us picked the Wolves anyway to win this series, so I feel like we knew this was coming, just a little more now that Steph was not going to be here for the series. So they're taking care of business like we thought they would.
Yeah, they are, and yeah, like you said, D'Lo, they're doing exactly that, and they're flexing their muscles right now. I'll tell you what, they are flexing their muscles right now. All right, as we do every week now, I know this week I know it's Monday, but as we do every week, we have Kyson on the show, and so Kyson is not able to be on Mondays with us, but we recorded a segment with Kyson yesterday, and here is that segment. Sorry, hold on. Why is it not playing? Oh, this is awkward. Why is it not letting me play it? This is uncomfortable, gentlemen. We might not be able to play it. Why is it not letting me play it? No. Hold on. Oh, man. Okay, well, we might have to play it another day. Hold on. Stand by. I don't know why it's not playing. Okay, fellas, well, we might have to play this another day. Tony, you gotta love technology, don't you?
On another note,
Yeah, what do you want to talk about in the meantime?
this looking like it's going to be Timberwolves OKC Okay, well, I should say that the Wolves in the winner of that because it's tied up over there. I don't know if the Timberwolves got enough offense, but they do play good defense.
That they do. That they absolutely do. Okay, I think I might have found another way to play it. Hold on. Here we go. I think here we go. Okay, maybe not. Can I not go full screen? All right, this might just be an upload video then. Wow, I am so upset. Why is it not letting me open it? All right, well, this is going to be an uploaded video then. That Kyson interview is going to be an uploaded video. That was awkward, gentlemen, wasn't it?
I was gonna say, like, can you check the chat?
Oh, why? What happened?
I literally was like screaming, like, improvise and move on. Let us talk about another segment while you fix this out. We're all sitting here.
That was
Well, I mean,
watching you.
it gave me enough time to use the restroom, so that was good.
Usually it takes you about 25 minutes to use the restroom.
You wash your hands?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Whoa, your hands are looking a little dry.
Like, bro, you better improvise and
All
start
right.
talking about a new subject while you try to figure out this video
Anyways.
technology. You're sitting here like, Tone, this is awkward.
There's heavy subjects out there. I've seen trade destinations for so many players after the draft lottery.
Speaking of which,
Are you just gonna upload that video? Do you want to talk about what Kyson talked about, or
that'll be an uploaded video? I thought I'd be able to play it in the live.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Watch that video with Kyson and them.
That will be up tomorrow. Okay, fellas. Giannis is apparently opening to getting moved. This is the first time in his tenure in Milwaukee that he is open to seeking a better position in which he can go win another championship. We've talked about it. We've talked about some possible destinations for Giannis. Now I think Dallas is out of the equation now. If they were even in the equation, where do we see Giannis possibly going?
Timeout. Why is Dallas out of the equation?
I was gonna ask the same thing. I feel
Really?
like they have the best.
I feel like they're
odds
in the
if they really
prime
want 'em.
position. Yeah.
They have the best odds if they want them.
You guys think that they would trade the first overall pick because you're gonna have to trade the first overall pick
For Giannis? You
Yeah.
don't think they do that?
Cooper
The
Flag
next
is
4
a
years.
generational basketball player.
And he could also be a generational bust. We don't know.
You know Giannis is the MVP.
You know
You
Giannis
that.
is an MVP caliber player.
You're gonna have to pay Giannis $50 million right now. If you draft Cooper Flag, you're not gonna have to pay him for the next 4 years, which also means you can also grow with Kyrie and AD.
That's fine, but you would be dumb not to do this now if you're Dallas. I think you would be.
I don't see it happening. Honestly, I don't. There's no.
Well, I don't see it happening, but to say that there's no possibility that they do that is crazy.
I think there's none because for Nico Harrison to get as lucky as he has been, or as he got getting the first overall pick again, this is not a Zachary Risache taken in the first as the first pick. Cooper Flag is a generational talent. And you're going to get him first overall you have the opportunity now to take him first overall after you trade Luka Doncic, another generational talent, away to, again, the Lakers of all teams. And you just get blessed with the number 1 overall pick after having 1.8 chance to get it. There's zero chance that they trade that number 1 overall pick for I don't care what it is. Zero chance they do that.
I just think it's interesting. I think you're dismissing what Nico Harrison is trying to build, and when you look at it, he says, he traded Luka because he wants more defense on the team. Well, how much better defensively do you get than a Giannis?
If you want to talk about two ways, Giannis is the best two-way player in the league. He is. But I understand how good Giannis is. Giannis is about to be 30. You're drafting a Cooper Flag coming into the league at 19 years old, and again, a guy that you're going to give a chance to grow alongside a guy like Anthony Davis, who has very similar playing styles, and you're going to trade that for a Giannis who is now again he's in the prime of his career, but he's about to be 30. He's about to be 30. I don't know.
It's
I don't
a
know.
gamble too, because you could go
It's a
KC,
gamble.
you could go to Houston. And you let them go there. Now they're likely to win a championship in the next 3 years, and you might not.
Can we start naming East teams? Can we start naming teams in the East? I'm tired of naming teams in
Oh,
the
no,
West.
he's not going anywhere in the East. He's not going anywhere in the East.
Miami.
Orlando.
Miami.
I think if
Orlando
Milwaukee
don't
is
got
trading
enough.
away Giannis, they're trading to the opposite
Yeah,
conference.
he's not going. That's why, like, no, they're not going to give someone else a championship in the East Coast. They're not going to do that.
Well, I mean, the Mavericks traded Luka to Lakers.
That was about money, relationships.
What do you? I don't know.
I told you about the situation in the city. That's big news, man.
Well,
Telling
hey, but
people they
we
can't-
know he wants to go to a tax-free state, and Texas fits the bill. But hey, like I mentioned in the group chat, so does Florida.
Orlando.
San Antonio.
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth
Hey,
now.
with that number 2 pick, listen.
Now that might be interesting. If they do that, I again am a full-time Knicks fan.
Like it's a possibility, but I also think like if you're Milwaukee, you look at Dallas and think if we're trading Giannis and we can get a generational prospect in return for it,
But
they need something.
How deep is the draft though? I mean, you have Cooper Flag at 1.
Mm-hmm.
Is how big a drop off is it from 1 to 2?
So if that is the case, why do you think that Dallas is not an enticing offer?
That's what I'm like. I think it's an enticing offer, but I think if you're Dallas, you'd be insane to do that.
I don't think so. I don't.
I mean,
To be fair, though, I think that if he were to get traded, he's going to one of those Texas teams.
yeah.
Houston's got pieces. Dallas has pieces. San Antonio has pieces. All three of them are one
They have
piece
more
away
off
from being
the
top tier
East Coast
contenders.
teams.
What'd you say, Tone?
They have more to offer than the East Coast teams.
They
They
do.
do. They do. Kev, where's the most realistic destination for Giannis? And please, God, don't say the Spurs.
You just had to say because I was gonna say the Spurs. I said this before in the couple videos back, and I'm gonna say it again. The Spurs. Fox, Vassell, Giannis, Wemby.
They'd have to give up Vassell.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way.
They
They
probably can give
they'd
up
have to give up.
Sohan, Keldon Johnson, Champagne, and the second overall pick, and possibly other draft picks.
I think they have to give up one of Vassell or Castle if they're going to do it. I don't imagine a world where they keep both.
Yeah, there's no way because if they, like again when you like the Spurs have
But
the pieces.
even so, if you're the Spurs, you're like, hey, I'm getting Giannis back in return for
Giannis and
for core
Wemby.
pieces.
like that's not even that's
With
not fun.
with Fox, like that transition team
And either
is
Castle and
nuclear.
Vassell, that's defensive, all defensive team right there.
I think whoever gets Giannis is immediately going to get thrown. Thrown German suplexed into the top 3 or top 5 favorite.
Like
To
imagine thinking you can drive past by Castle, which is he's already a good defender, and then you run into Wemby and Giannis.
Yeah,
That'd be insane. Let's not put that into the world, actually.
please can we not put that?
Mo, what you just said is what makes me believe that Dallas may actually bring this to the table. Is because Giannis, like Phil said, we know Giannis is good for 27, 11, and 8. We know this.
Yeah, he rolls
Kuzma
out of
may
bed.
only bring you 16, 5-5 next year. Or he might only do that for the first 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Your championship windows, as I'm living it right now. You know what I'm saying? It goes from this to this
Like
in a
that.
split second.
Yeah.
And so, like, they hit the lottery, literally, like in the literal meaning of lottery, they hit it.
They yeah.
Like, why not like gamble it? Like, I'm sure someone's gonna bring it to the table. Like, yo, y'all know Giannis is talking about. And again, if he goes into another West team now, you've now gone, oh shoot. It's because it's not just you got Cooper Flag, it's you got Cooper Flag, but Giannis is down the street.
I mean, to piggyback off of what Tone is saying, though, like you were talking about the drop off from 1 to 2, right? It, if you're Dallas and you have the number 1 pick for that generational prospect that we keep talking about, you don't have to give up as much of your depth that you otherwise would have if you're trading for Giannis, because that number 1 pick is just so enticing. And if you're Milwaukee, it sweetens the deal. You don't need as much if you're Dallas to give up in terms of the depth to go out and get a Giannis. Now, will they still have to give up some additional pieces? Of course they will. But they won't have to give up as much as they normally would have if it were not for this number 1 pick.
It's gonna be interesting to see, man. It's gonna be interesting to see as the stories develop in the off season, and or obviously playoffs are still going on, but when free agency opens up and really the rumors start swirling, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with Giannis. If I'm being completely honest, I think the chances of Giannis leaving they're higher. They're higher than they were before the season or before they left. They got eliminated from the playoffs. But I'll say it like this: I would not be surprised if they didn't trade him. Not one bit.
Shams is about to be a very busy man this offseason.
He is going to be a very busy. Can Giannis just stay in Milwaukee and then we could trade KD somewhere?
No,
now that's
to the West
They
Coast, please.
they
To the
said
West
going to
Coast.
Houston. It's KD to Houston.
No, Houston's reported not to have any interest.
He's interested in
You know
Phil.
who is interested?
That's how you lower the value of that boy.
Boys in Miami.
Hey, if you give me, let me see. You give me Jaime. You give
You
me
can
2
have 'em.
first rounders,
You can have him.
and you give me Duncan,
Mhm.
and I need one more.
Terry. You take Scary Terry.
Hell no, that's another Bradley Beal. Keep his ass. Yeah,
Davion Mitchell.
sir.
Davion Mitchell.
I'll
No.
take Davion Mitchell. Yep.
No, he's
Yep.
off the table.
Give me Davion Mitchell, Jaime, Duncan Robinson, and 2 first.
But you're asking too much. You're talking about a 37-year-old unhappy superstar. I was fine giving you Jaime and 2 first-round
How
picks.
bad do you want to win a championship? How bad do you want to win a championship?
I was fine giving you Jaime and 2 first. You're pushing it.
How badly do you want to win a championship?
How badly do the Phoenix Suns want to get away from this?
And now that window opens because Celtics, they might be without Jason Tatum next season.
That I understand.
So that would make the East very, very wide open. So if you go and get Kevin Durant, you then propel yourself from a play-in team to a 3 or 4 seed. So if you go out and get Kevin Durant, and the East is wide open, how bad do you want to go win the championship? Because you're up, Kevin Durant, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo.
I understand where you're getting at, but the Suns are not in a position to bargain. They're not.
And
KD
you don't think again, especially if Jason Tatum
went down. KD's value just went down. Regardless of what's happening on the East, KD's value just went down, and so your ability to bargain, you're limited.
I'll tell you what right now. I'll tell you what. I think as soon if Giannis gets traded, KD's value is going to go up.
If he gets traded,
But even if he doesn't, knowing that he's off the market, it's still going to go up because now you're thinking, okay, if you're the Rockets, if you're Miami, if you're who's the other San Antonio, but I don't think San Antonio would trade for Kevin Durant. Like if you get the opportunity for Giannis, yes, you get to grow. I don't think they're going to trade for Kevin Durant. But if you're Houston, if you're Miami, if you're one of those teams who want to go win right now because you have the pieces to go win right now,
Orlando.
I don't know about
no,
Orlando.
they need
They're still young.
shooting. They don't need another.
Yeah, they're still
So
young.
KD?
No,
No,
they need shooting everywhere, not just one.
You know what? You guys don't have very many. Never mind. I don't want to trade KD to Miami.
Yeah, you do.
It's not much.
Yeah,
there.
you do. You
It's not
said
much
Jaime, 2 first-round picks and
No,
dumped it
Davion
right
Mitchell's
there.
right there.
Boom.
Davion Mitchell's right there.
Like I said,
he's not.
I'll take Davion, but
Davion is not available. I promise. After the playoffs that he had, he is not available.
For Kevin Durant, I would beg to defer, but there's not much there in Miami to give up. I gotta admit.
I'm surprised
not
you didn't
much
say
there.
Khalil Ware. That's the first name I thought you were going to bring up.
When I talk about when you talk about untouchable, I'd imagine he's untouchable.
Oh, I agree. But does
Yeah,
Pat
that's why I
Riley
didn't
think
bring him up.
that? I
Huh?
don't know. Does Pat Riley think that? I don't know.
Exactly. So Pat Riley, if you're thinking I want to trade for Kevin Durant to pair him with Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo, who's more untouchable, Khalil Ware or Davion Mitchell?
Where?
Exactly. So if you got to give up one of them, you'd give up Davion Mitchell.
You act like there's not other pieces.
There is none. There is literally nothing else.
There's no way he threw the Terry Rozier earlier.
Yeah.
I said Duncan Robinson because I
isn't a
forgot
good
about
piece.
Davion Mitchell.
Jovic isn't a good piece.
No, I don't want Jovic.
You don't want him.
We have our future forward. We have a future wing. We don't want anything to do with Jovic.
Jovic is a 4, but okay.
He's a wing. He's
a 4.
6'8". 6'8", 6'9", he's a wing.
That's a 4.
So Ryan Dunn is a 4?
He could play at the 4.
Right. He can play at the 4, can he not?
I watched every Suns game this year, and I cried during every single one of them. Ryan Dunn did not play the 4.
That's
I'm
because
not
KD's
saying
at the 4.
Play the 4. I'm saying he
even
can
when
play the 4.
when KD didn't play, he did not play the 4.
When you're built like
Yeah.
a 6'8" wing, you can play at the 4.
You never played the 4?
Can he not play the 4? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he will play the 4. I'm saying can he not do it?
No,
he can't.
No,
he's just perpetually.
I can go play the 4 in the NBA. Doesn't mean I'll be productive.
No, you'll be like a shooting guard.
Okay.
You're not 6'8" tall like Ryan Dunn.
Anyways, all right.
It's like they call him a point forward. You know what that means, Maul? Point forward.
Are you done?
I'm just saying. I watched Heat games and we put him at the 4. I've seen it with my eyes. Just like you're saying, you've seen Ryan Dunn play the 3 the whole season. I've seen Eric Spoelstra put him at the 4.
Hold on, Swain. What KD trade? Where?
Yeah, to Miami. Let's make it happen. Swain doesn't
have anything to give up. They don't have anything to give up.
You just said that they did.
The Rockets.
The Rockets, honestly, I think are the most. I don't know. Actually, they don't even want KD.
They don't want him.
Nobody
want him except for Miami. Miami is the only team right now that's interested.
I highly doubt that.
A Golden State, but what do you want from Golden State?
He doesn't want to.
So say if Santo misses out on Giannis, they probably might try to make him work for KD.
No.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. If once Giannis gets once the official stamp on Giannis on what he's going to do, because think about it. Say if Giannis goes to San Antonio, right? Giannis goes to San Antonio. Houston is going to be desperate to make a move. You don't think his value would go up? Huh?
Wouldn't Dallas also be on the sweepstakes for KD too?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
They're trying to contend.
If he goes.
But that's what I'm saying. But you want to contend. I'm like Dallas doesn't have much to give up either.
But if you're talking about it, like you just said, if Giannis goes to the West, what's stopping Miami from giving up too much in the East?
I'll tell you what, Dallas right now. Dallas right now. I'd trade KD for the first overall pick straight up.
Of course you would. Who
Straight up.
wouldn't be
See, well, you wouldn't do it for Giannis. Make it make sense.
No. Straight up.
Giannis is an MVP caliber player. KD is no longer in his prime.
So you're saying
No. Straight up. Nothing else involved. Giannis, you're going to have to give up more. That's what I'm saying. You're going to have to give up more because Giannis is in his prime, because he's an MVP, because he's a defensive player of the year. You're going to have to give up more. So because of that, I would not do it. The Mavericks would have to give up the first overall pick. They'd have to give up a couple more picks, along with some pieces that they have right now. If you were to trade just the first overall pick and for Kevin Durant, I would do it. Now, if I'm the Suns, I would do it. If I'm the Mavs, I would not do it. No shot in the world I would do it.
yeah, this is the most unrealistic thing that came out of your mouth. It will not happen.
I'm not.
Never will happen.
I never said it would happen. I'm just saying if the situation
Why are we
came
talking
about,
about it?
if the situation came about, and Brian Gregory, the new Suns GM, was like, "Hey, Dallas put an offer on the table. They said they'll give us the first overall pick for KD straight up." I would then say, call them back, and immediately make that deal.
See, and if Nico Harrison did that, there would be no threats. It would be automatic, like at the crib. It's never going to happen. They would be at his crib immediately. He would have 24/7 protection from the city of Dallas and all of their police officers. They would be on the clock 24/7. There's no world.
Okay. The game tonight is over pretty much. I mean, there's 6 minutes left. It is a 19-point game. The game tonight is over. Let's look ahead to the games that are happening tomorrow. The first game, Kev, your boys are fighting for their playoff lives at home tomorrow. They are down 3-1 in the series after a absolutely dominant victory by the Pacers in Indiana. How do the Cavs win tomorrow? You might not have Donovan Mitchell. What do the Cavs need to do to not only win tomorrow, but to get back into the series and possibly fight for their life? You and I talked today. You said, "Oh, they're going to make history." I then said, "LeBron James is not walking through that door anytime soon." So I don't know if any history is going to be made. Kevin, what do the Cavs need to do?
Well, Mitchell is a game time decision, so the injury is not as bad. And if he is questionable and it comes down to it, I feel like Mitchell's gonna say, "I don't care about sitting out. Season's on the line. Let me give it a go." Regardless if he is 100% or not, he's probably gonna try to give it a go. What Cleveland just has to do is just hit their shots, because what we saw yesterday, they couldn't hit any threes for a team that was number 2 in the league in 3-point efficiency. And that didn't look like it was that yesterday. And so they need to get back to playing Cavs basketball. Strus was playing amazing the first 3 games. Didn't look as good as he did yesterday. And then Garland actually didn't look as bad after Mitchell went down. So that's good to see. It's just the others like Merrill, Wade, all those guys that are there to catch and shoot the 3 ball. They need to be ready to hit efficiently, and they just need to play better defense. They weren't the best defensive team this year, but they were top 10, and it didn't look like that at all whatsoever yesterday. So they just need to get back to playing Cavs basketball, and they just need to play like the season on the line.
Tony, what do your down 3-1 peers need to do in order to come back and even make this series a series?
Darius Garland has to turn into Kyrie Irving. Evan Mobley has to turn into...
Well, that'd be awkward. He did towards ACL.
Yeah, it happens.
No. I wouldn't want him to turn into Kyrie.
but he's playing. He didn't.
He's talking about
Come on,
Kyrie.
man.
Well, no, you said you want Darius Garland to turn into Kyrie. Kyrie tore his
Well, I
ACL.
mean, like the version of him playing.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm
gotcha.
saying?
Okay. My bad. I just wanted to be.
Evan Mobley has to turn into like prime KG. Just they have to play a lot better than they've been playing. I don't. It doesn't look like they have enough firepower. I'm not really sure what happened when they got Hunter. I thought they were going to be a better playoff team. Yeah, it just doesn't look like they have enough, and they are kind of hindered. You know, he's hurt. Donovan Mitchell's hurt, and so no excuses. If you know, that's how we play, and professionals. You know what I'm saying? That's what we say. But
We, as in professional. Who's
mhm.
we?
Me, you know what I'm saying?
Well, no. I heard you say me. Who's we? As in, are you counting yourself as a professional athlete?
I'm a professional Celtic.
You get paid
Man.
to be a Celtic fan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that worked out well. Then I didn't.
Get paid in love. You know what I'm saying? Green hearts, green heart emojis is what we get.
Oh, okay. Well, I wish it was green something else, but
But no, I sorry to say that I think the East Coast series they're both over, and yeah, it's not going to be a lot of happy pods for me, Kev, next week or so.
Well, I'm a Wolves fan after they're eliminated, so
Yeah, me too. I'm definitely going for AE. Shout out AE. You know what I'm saying?
AE couldn't hold Jalen Brunson's job. I'll just tell you.
I wasn't.
Just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, I was gonna wait until after the Celtics series to announce it, but since you're just gone, put it out there.
Yeah, I'll put it up. Let me see. Let's AE has how many points does he have right now? He has 30 still. Has not scored a single point in the fourth quarter. You know who was amazing today? He just happens to wear number 11 for the team that plays their home games at MSG, Madison Square Garden. All right, D'Lo, what do the lowly Cavs need to do to get back into the series and win tomorrow?
You want the short answer?
I want David Largo's answer.
They don't.
Oh, okay. That is a short answer. Oh.
Hey, what's the phrase that I've adopted from Maul here? It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
When the rabbit got the gun.
Listen, I'm not gonna hold anything back here either because I've been, I've been so frustrated throughout these playoffs because the Heat got decimated in 4 and we sucked, and there was a lot of talk, right? It ain't no fun. Both of these top teams that we thought were gonna be good have sucked, just flat out. I mean. They've sucked. I mean, Kev can agree, Tone can agree that they've sucked, and they've given games that they should not have given. Um, and now that they're both down 3-1, and both are hobbled. Obviously, we know what happened with JT today. Prayers up. We hope that he's okay. We know what happened with Mitchell in Game 4. Hope that he's okay. I hope that he gets to play next game. But it's over. If Mitchell's a game time decision, if he plays, he's not going to be 100%. Garland, his foot has been bothering him. He's missed the first 2 games. He's done. Mobley, he twisted that ankle. He did not look right for game 4. Hunter, his thumb, he's been looking at it all game 4. He's not 100%. They're hobbled. They're done. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I think this series, and again, real quick, we'll just pick who wins, right? The game tomorrow. I think it's over. I don't think the Pacers have enough fire. Or the Pacers. I don't think the Cavs. I don't think they're strong enough. I don't think they're healthy enough. I don't think they just have enough to go out and put up a fight in this series. I think they're done tomorrow. I think the series ends in 5. I think it was, disappointing playoffs for the Cavs, obviously being the number 1 seed in the same conference as the reigning defending NBA champions, being the number 1 seed, having the regular season that they did have. You had high expectations. I mean, people were putting the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals as soon as the playoffs started, even halfway through the season. And then for them to come out and, perform that the way that they have, obviously they go in and they swept Miami. They're done. Done. Injuries or not, I think it's disappointing. I think they can possibly make a few moves in the offseason. But again, depending on it, all depends on what this Jason Tatum injury is. Again, if it's long term, they might not make any moves. They might just go out. But again, they didn't even lose to the Celtics. They're losing to the Pacers, the 4 seed. I think the Cavs can make a move or two in the offseason that could really be like, oh, these guys are serious. They want to go win a championship. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do in the offseason.
I just want to see a boxing match between Mathurin and DeAndre Hunter.
Mathurin would give him hands.
So, Bilmo, I just have a question before we move on to predicting games, because I know you were always questionable about him coming in. Has this run from Donovan Mitchell, even though it probably ends here, has it changed your mind on how you view him come playoff time?
No.
Nope.
No. He could put up numbers. He could put up all the numbers he wants to. Does he win when it matters? He has never done that throughout his entire career. He has made the playoffs every single year of his career. I give him all the credit in the world for that. It's tough to make the playoffs in this league. You make the playoffs for a reason. Does it change my view on him in the playoffs when it matters the most? Absolutely not. And it's happening again. It's rearing its ugly head again. When they need him most, he does not show up. Now you can say, he had this amount of points in game 1. He had 48 in game 2. They lost. Both of those games. The game they won, it was good.
They didn't have DG.
That's why you go out and get a Donovan Mitchell to make up for when you're missing guys.
Well, I don't want us to be a part of that media group. You can't have it both ways. You can't rag on the Celtics for winning the games that they're supposed to win in last year's championships and saying, they just beat depleted teams, and then not give a guy credit for actually putting the team on his back when he doesn't have his Robin.
I gave Jaylen Brown credit.
No, I'm talking about Donovan Mitchell. The man is averaging like 38 in the series.
And he's losing.
Again, he doesn't have his co-guard, guard, who averages like 20 points.
That's what you go out and get a guy like Donovan Mitchell for. I'll give you an example. Cat was fantastic in the playoffs. Last year. And I think we could all agree, Julius Randle is not on the same level as Karl Anthony Towns.
Why can't you say that? He's probably not as consistent, but he's probably a better defender. And so you giving you 3 less points and 3 less rebounds and 2 less assists, but he's playing better defense, way better defense.
To make my point, who's a better basketball player, Karl Anthony Towns or Julius Randle?
They obviously have similar value. They damn swapped them out.
That's not the question. Who is the better? Who? If you're starting a franchise, who are you taking, Karl Anthony Towns or Julius Randle?
It's pretty close, but I think Cat has a slight edge.
So you go out and lose, and you see what Anthony Edwards is doing. He's performing. He's playing well.
They're playing the Steffer-list Warriors. Come on, comparing this, and they struggle. They don't let the Warriors win almost 2 games.
They beat the LeBron and Luka Lakers.
Okay. So when Donovan Mitchell played the Clippers without Kawhi, what did he do? He had their whole team when he was in Utah. There was nobody hurt. They lost.
Yeah, they lost.
They lost. They had their whole team. There was no excuses. In fact, he had the excuse to go win the series because the Clippers were down their best player.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about this particular series right now. I'm
But
not talking
no, again,
about what
I'm
happened in
using
the
the
past.
other series and as an example because it's just what he always does. I said it last year. I said it the year before. He has literally he's been the number one seed. This is not the first time he's been a number one seed in a conference. He was the number seed. He was number one seed in a strong Western Conference, and he was the number one seed in a conference in the same conference as the Boston Celtics, who just won the championship the previous season. You go into the playoffs and you do not go as far as you probably should be. Again, against a 4 seed. The Pacers are a very good basketball team. A
The
very good
Pacers are
basketball team.
playing like a 1 seed. Like they're balling right now.
But again,
Halliburton is like the best point right now.
Again, he does not win the big game. He does not win the big game. Game 7 in the bubble against the Nuggets. He did not win the big game. Game 6 against the Clippers in 2021. He did not win the big game. 2022, when the Mavs were down Luka. They didn't have Luka. Again, the best player on that team. The Jazz versus the Mavericks. Donovan Mitchell, a top seed in the Western Conference. The Mavs lose Luka Doncic. Donovan Mitchell did not go and win the big game. And it's showing just the same thing this year. What was it, 2 years ago? His first year in Cleveland. They go in there. They have home court advantage. They play the 5 seed Knicks. They get eliminated in 5 games. He does not win the big game. He never has. And until he shows me otherwise, I will always believe what I see. Donovan Mitchell cannot win the big game. Period. End of story.
My bad. I didn't mean to spark this debate. I was just trying to see if your view has changed. Like,
He can't win the big game. Again, they're the second best team in basketball. The second best team in basketball. And somebody else we're about to talk about right now, if he doesn't show up, he's going to have that same label next to him from what he did last year and what he's doing this year. And we're about to talk about him here in a second. Yeah, let's pick the game tomorrow. Pacers Cavs game 5. I have the Pacers winning. Kev will go to you last. That's your team. So who you got?
I got the Pacers.
D'Lo?
Indy.
Kev?
The Stars.
We all agree that we believe the Pacers will be eliminated the Cleveland Cavaliers. And you know what? Let's go over that series because since we all believe that they are going to be eliminating them. Cleveland and Indiana. I had Indiana in 6. Tone had Indiana in 6. D'Lo had Cleveland in 7. Kyson also had Indiana in 6. It's looking like me, Tone, and Kyson are all going to tie in that series if they do end up closing the series out tomorrow. Let's talk about the other game that's happening tomorrow. OKC Denver, probably what might be the best series of the second round so far. That series is 2-2 going back to OKC for game 5. Who wants to?
This is in OKC, by the way.
In Oklahoma City. So, Kev, who wins this game tomorrow and why?
I say the Thunder. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but playing at home, crowd's gonna be loud. I think Jokic has one of those monster games, but I just don't think the role players are gonna step up like how Gordon's been playing, MPJ, Christian Brown. I don't think those guys are gonna step up as much as they should be, and I think Thunder win by having Jokic do his own thing, but the other players on the Nuggets they don't play as well tomorrow.
Tone, who wins tomorrow and why?
I got OKC winning. I think SGA will just be more comfortable. I think he wants to play better than he did last game. He felt like he left something on the table, and I also think that J-Dub gets a solid 2025 tomorrow. Yeah, I got OKC.
Low, who wins this game tomorrow and why?
I got OKC. I just want to point out that I think Russ has played better in OKC than he has in Denver. In terms of this series, I feel like
Kind of
both
like a
of the
home
two
game.
games, uh, he's just been more energetic, and I feel like he's got something to prove. But I just think that OKC, they play better at home. The depth guys, they shoot better at home. Yeah, give me OKC.
Yeah, as much as I don't want to, I'm gonna agree with you guys. Now that guy I was talking about, who might be put into that same category as Donovan Mitchell, he just happens to have
SGA.
3 names. If he has not played very well in the series. He had one good game, and he was fantastic in that game. Game 2, he had 34 points. He shot 11 to 13 from the field. He was amazing. Last game, not so much. Not so much. He was good enough in game 4. Game 3, he was not good, especially down the stretch when they needed him the most in the fourth quarter and overtime. He had 3 points in the fourth quarter and overtime. He was not game 1, he was not good. Guess what? Last year in the second round against the Mavericks, he was not great. When they needed him most, he wasn't great. And so if again, I think OKC is going to win tomorrow. They're going back to OKC. They have a little bit of momentum. They won the slugfest that they went through in game 4. I think OKC is going to win this game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. But I think they're going to win this game, and they're going to go back to Denver, and we'll see what happens from there. But tomorrow, I think they're going to win this game. I think SGA has a big game tomorrow. I think he's the reason why they win tomorrow, and we'll see. We'll see what happens after that. So that series is okay. Who else? I have Denver in 7. Tone and D'Lo are out. They had OKC in 5. Although they still could, OKC obviously could still win the series. And Kyson had OKC in 6. I think, Jokic is going to be, I think he's going to be fantastic tomorrow. I think he's going to be Jokic. It's been a good playoffs, fellas. It's been a fun playoffs to watch. And this game is over. Minnesota is beating the Golden State Warriors 117-105. Yeah, this game is over. I think the series is over. Minnesota is going to go up 3-1 on the Warriors. So, other than that, fellas, I think that's going to close out the show tonight.
An hour 30. Yes, sir.
Attaboy. Minute 30. Attaboy, Kev.
What did Ant say? He said he's gonna be back here, and look what's about to happen.
That's gonna be
the thing Maul is questioning. Is he gonna be prepared like he said he is?
Is he gonna be like that was he said it last year. He said he did not train. He said he was tired, he was fatigued. That's why he didn't have anything to give the Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals. He was not good in that series. And so it looks like he's going to get another opportunity to go back to the conference finals, to play a team like the Thunder or the Nuggets, who they beat last year. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be really interesting to see. And obviously we'll talk about those series. Again, Wednesday, we'll be back Wednesday. The Cavs Pacers series might be over.
Boston Celtics might be over.
Boston Celtics might be over, and this series also might be over. So we might only be talking about one series and looking ahead to the conference finals. So thank you, everybody, for watching. We appreciate you all watching. We will be back Wednesday night. Tomorrow night, sometime tomorrow. Look out for our segment with Kyson, because apparently my computer just looked at me and said, F you, not going to work today. We will be back Wednesday live, reacting to what games are that night? We will be back reacting.
Wednesday would be at OKC and Denver, and then if needed,
actually,
the same game from tonight.
Same games tonight. Wednesday, same games tonight would be Wednesday. So Knicks, Celtics,
really?
and Warriors, Timberwolves. So tomorrow night it's those other 2 games, and so we will be reacting to obviously Cavs, Pacers, and OKC and Denver tomorrow, and then Knicks, Celtics, and Warriors, Timberwolves Wednesday. Tone, my bad. What did you say? What were you gonna say?
It's Monday. I'm thinking it's Sunday.
Huh?
every other day until the series are over.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I'm thinking it's Sunday. You mentioned Tyson. I'm like, yeah, it's Sunday today. It's Monday.
Oh, it's Monday.
Yep.
I kind of like Mondays. I don't mind Mondays.
Yeah. It's a good
Anyway.
day today.
Huh?
It's a good day today.
It is a good day today. And
Every
Celtics
day you
lost.
wake up.
Oh yeah, that
Every
too.
day you wake up, it's a good day, brother.
Let us know what you think about the new intro. I'm gonna post that on social medias and let everybody know that this is a team around over here at GSM. This is a team, and this is the best team. This is what's looking like the Knicks. So anyways, nobody else.
This man got 2 teams in every sport. This is wild. Like your fanhood.
I love you.
You should be ashamed of like.
I'm proud of you. You are amazing. You woke up this morning, so you have a purpose. If you haven't found it, I'd say, well, you're gonna find it eventually. You are amazing. I love you. This is a positive show. There's something else in the outro that I'm forgetting. As always, it's nice to be important, but it's much important. More important to be nice.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll see you Wednesday.
Whoa.
Gotta find my way to